Hello everybody. Today we're going to learn how to use a catheter as a quadriplegic C6-C7 incomplete, and I've had some surgeries done on my arms as well to get grip back. However, I'm going to ignore the grip that I've acquired so that we can work with the same abilities that we do with people that have not had the surgery. And we'll take a approach of the double-handed use and mouth acquisition for the catheter, so we have stabilization and 3-point contact. Because when you don't have grip, the best way to make sure you don't drop anything and you don't have to start over or lose sterilization is to do so with the 3-point contact. And you're probably going to use this skill in many other tasks during your day. So just so you see, this is my setup. I'm in a manual wheelchair. I'm a C6-C7. I'm pretty comfortable with pushing, mostly because of the surgeries I've had on my arms that have actually helped with my forearms getting stronger, and it's translated up my arm and to my chest. Now, let's get to using the catheter. I use a Coloplast catheter inner use. It is called a SpeediCath. It will usually come with a catheter size, so that's your French size. That will be the diameter of your catheter. This is a telescopic catheter, which means that you have a 3-stage. It is sterile on the inside, and it comes packaged with a seal, which is this blue seal in the middle, dark blue. You break this to open the seal, and then sterile is halfway through the first stage because there are 2 stages of sterility in this. So long-term use, for keeping it sterile, make sure that this seal is closed. I'll take it closer to you so you can see it. There is a crack seal on the middle. There you go. And what you do is you stabilize by putting it in your mouth, the back side. The front side has a bit of a flare, which makes it easier to hold so that it doesn't slip off easily. Put this in your mouth. Both hands around the tip. You're going to want to put your thumbs opposite to each other, like this, and righty twist. Now the idea is that when you're looking from above, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but when you're below, it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. And you want to turn it right with your mouth and your hands, and once it's unclogged, when you've broken the seal, you can see that it just comes right off. I'm going to do this without my grip. I showed you how to crack the seal. Once it's cracked, both hands on the seal, pull. Then make sure you put this away from the area you're going to be using. I usually put this on my brake, but it's kind of tough when you don't have a grip. I would just put it on the side so you can get to it later. If you have a trash can next to you, it's a great idea so that you can just throw it away immediately. I try to put this in the recycle bin because it is a recyclable plastic. Now, still in your mouth, both hands, take it off. Try to get both hands on the bottom like this. Keep it close to you and shake until it opens. If you don't want to lose it, if you're afraid that your grip is going to fail or you have a spasm, then I would recommend you keep it in your mouth and you use your hands to unfold the bag. Once the bag is unfolded, you're going to do the same thing as you did before with the untwisting. There is another blue seal here, and you're actually going to break the seal right here. This is going to be the bag, this is where it's stored, this is where it breaks, and the catheter goes out this way. Now, you're going to do the same thing that you did before with the cap, right? I'm actually going to put it on my break, because that's usually what I do. Just when I have it on the side, sometimes it gets caught in my chair and it goes wherever it wants to go, which is kind of a problem. So, in your mouth, both hands, right? And if you have trouble with keeping your pants down while this is happening, I recommend that you use a bungee cord of the correct size. This is going to be a bit of a slog at first, but use one with a covered tip like this. I would recommend actually taking this tip off, putting super glue inside, and putting it back on so that it doesn't slip off in your pants and you lose it for a while, because we do not want any skin problems. Now what you do is, with your thumb, you go into the part of your pants that usually holds to your waist. It's usually an elastic band, hopefully. If you have a belt, you might need help. Pull it over, put the hook in, you can even drop it in. It will self-adjust, then let go, and once it's hooked, and really you just need to do a slow tug forward. Once it's hooked, use both hands a little higher than halfway down the bungee cord, and then lean forward to where the other half is coming down to the front. Now, I'm not sure I'll be able to show you just because of the angle. No, I think I can. Just need to back up a bit. So, I'm actually going to hook it just to show you. The bungee cord hooks to the front plate in between your feet. Be very careful not to get it on one of your toes or underneath your foot, because sometimes it can be sharp. Because I actually have one side of my bungee cord is not capped, because I like it to be able to hook pretty firmly to the piece of metal on my chair. This, remember, is in your pants. Once you push forward, you lean forward with it up to right where your knees are, so that your knees are holding your arms. You get it hooked in the front, and there's already tension because it is hooked to your pants. You let go, you go over to one knee, put your fist in, lean your head back, and go back in your seat. This process should hold your pants open so that you can do the next part. Now that you've hooked your pants and they are open, you're ready for the next part with your catheter. I would actually recommend that you use the bungee cord and you hooked your pants before you even start opening the catheter. Now, this part is a little trickier because you are going to have to go really slowly and get the correct angle. The hardest part of this is balancing the sterile catheter and getting the correct angle to insert. If you are a male, I would recommend that you actually make sure that both your testicles are pushed upward and neither of them is underneath your shaft or like between your legs. Because if there is enough pressure, it could cause microspasms to happen in your urethra, which could shut the valves and make it harder for the cath to actually go in. It could even make the angle harder to get the cath to go in. Now, cath in the mouth, bottom side, and you're going to use both hands, the technique we saw before, to get the cap off. Once that happens, I'll show you that it completely extends out. There's a very small anchor at the bottom that holds the catheter. Once you get to that point, it's a short, sharp yank so that it breaks the anchor and you're left with a catheter. I want you to remember all this while I'm doing it, so that if you have questions, you can go back in the video and check what is happening step by step. Once that's happened, once it's unlocked and it's out, I would recommend you spit out this part into your lap. It will usually land in front. Sometimes it'll hit the ground. It happens. You'll get better at it. You'll aim for the correct spots on your legs so that it doesn't fall off or it doesn't turn over and it's easier to catch. If you're really worried about it and you've gotten really good at holding stuff with one hand, then I would recommend you use the other hand to put it somewhere else, and you use the catheter in the other hand, you balance it. Kind of tricky just because you still want to keep that catheter sterile. You don't want it to touch anything else than your parts. Speaking of, I would recommend having wet wipes to sterilize your area before this even touches. Now, I'm going to put it into action and then I'll show you how it can be done. Back side in your mouth. Both hands on the blue part on the end right here. Both hands. Cup it, twist right, let go, put the rag, twist right, it's clear, use both hands, pull, here's the anchor, and I would recommend that you keep this in your mouth and you spit it out into your lap. I'm not going to do it because if I miss, this video is going to be a little longer than it should be. I'm going to put it on the side of my chair. Now, you're left with both hands. Usually, it'll be like this, because that's the direction that you pulled it out. You want to get in the crux right here. The bag will usually fit in your hand because of the pressure from your tenodesis. So I would recommend you hold your hand back like this with tenodesis. Use both hands, flip it downward without touching anything. Once it's at this angle, keep your balance with your head back, look down. Do not push your head down like you're looking down like this, because you will fall over with both hands in front of you. Straight down, aim for the angle. You should aim for the shaft, right? Once you are facing the eyes, take a deep breath in. Hold it and then push straight down. Once you push straight down, there's sometimes it will lock out right around here. You want to keep breathing, wait for it. If you can feel anything, it'll probably tell you like, okay, right now I'm relaxed. And then you go in. I would hold a consistent pressure. Do not pull it back out. Do not push it too hard in. Just hold it there until your body accepts it and lets it through so that you can create a pathway and then pee can start going out. Now, once you've successfully accessed and there is pee flowing out, you wait, you watch. If there's a flow going down, then it's working. I would look at bubbles inside the pouch. That usually gives you an idea if there's flow or not. And once you get to the point where flow starts to slow down or stop, slowly pull it back out. Both hands, remember? Both hands. Pull it back out very slowly, maybe half an inch at a time, because flow will continue. Your bladder is not a consistent volume, and sometimes there are folds. So as you go past the folds, you are going to pull out more and more urine. So all the way to around, I would say right about here on the catheter, you will consistently get urine, and you want to get as much of it out as you can so that you don't have to consistently cath over the day. Now, once you get to this part, and it's right about here, I would either go out to the side so that you have better control with the lats, or if you can go to the front, I would either hook the chair on one of these, like that, or I would put my hand out and hold it in front, but I would still recommend you do it out to the side. Especially if there's a trash can, aim for the side of the trash can. And use gravity to your advantage, because this is a siphoning mechanism, and there is a higher pressure in here since it's pulling in than there is in your bladder at that point. So the liquid wants to go down this way, but with gravity, it will go down and you won't get spillage. So pull out and go down with it. Once you're down here and you have it with consistency, make sure that your tenodesis is working its maximum. Pull it out. It'll probably flick a little, but it's flicking out to the side, so it's not getting on your clothing. Now, once it's full, I would get both hands on it. So I would probably press into your wheel, get both hands, pull it over, hold it up like this so that there's no spillage. Get your other half somehow with one hand if you can. I would probably press it against my body, roll it, and then when your fingers are there, use tenodesis and then drop a little bit, use the other one, get it over. And this is the part that if you do not have grip, I would push it into your leg, push the other part into your leg, and then force them together with your biceps. This part is much easier than it looks because there will be weight in this side of the bag because it will be full. That will keep it from flipping up and down and pulling back out. So the pressure will actually hold it down inside the telescopic holder. And all you need to do is lift, bring it up to your mouth, and do the reverse. So put the rag, and there you go, it's closed. I would give it an extra reassurance of tightness if it's full. And then you can roll over to the trash can, throw it in, and recycle. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and have found it helpful and a good teaching experience. Please let me know if there's anything else you would like to learn in future videos, and please check the comments and the tags below for more resources. See you in the next one.